The 8th of October, 1918. Mrs. Isabel Summer. I wish you'd been there last night, Mother. The Girls' Patriotic Club was full to bursting, and Mrs. Proctor spoke tremendously well.
It's a pity you won't be able to vote, Isabel. Your glass is empty, Charles. Would you like a little more wine?
Oh, yes, thank you. She didn't miss the registration date by much.
Well, there's another deadline set for next February.
Being married sooner wouldn't have changed anything. I'm not a property owner, that's the thing.
But you are now, the cottage.
I haven't accepted the cottage.
Well, accept it, and you can register next time. Talk to her, Charles.
Isabel doesn't need to be talked to. She's allowed her own opinion.
Is it all right to Clair, ma'am?
Yes, we're finished, I think. Isn't it extraordinary to think that I will be voting?
Not at all. It's long overdue.
Can I vote?
Well, I'm afraid not, Connie. Children aren't allowed.
Why aren't we?
Well, you will be when you're older. When you're 30. In 1938.
Who will we vote for?
Well, whoever you want to be your MP.
Mummy. Mummy? I want Mummy to be my NB. MP. That's what I said.
I don't think your mummy will ever be an MP, Grace.
Why not?
Yes, why not? Because I'm a woman?
No, because you've never shown any interest in politics.
You know nothing about what I think.
Really, Juliet, must you be so sharp with me?
Mr. Graham, how do you think President Wilson will react to the German peace note?
What?
Why is Esme lying down?
Esme?
Extraordinary.
Is everything all right?
Sorry, I'll clear, shall I?
Oh, I've a new custom for you about vegetable peelings, Esme.
Yes, Mrs. Graham.
Vegetable peelings and sawdust. You pack them in the middle of the fire with coal all around them, and they keep it burning longer. It's another thing to make the coal ration stretch.
Yes, Mrs. Graham.
What were you looking for, Esme?
It doesn't matter. Have you lost something? Oh, Miss.
Esme?
Why is she crying?
We're not sure, Grace.
I expect she's sad.
Has something happened?
It's not Oscar, is it?
Yeah. Well, no, not that. I should have listened. Miss Marshall said it was bad luck to wear it.
What is it? What's wrong?
I've lost my wedding ring.
Oh, you poor thing.
It was a bit big.
What's happened?
Oh, she's lost her wedding ring, Gabriel.
Oh, dear. But you and Oscar aren't married. She isn't married, is she?
For goodness sake. When did you last have it?
This morning.
Have you been out today?
No.
Then it's somewhere in the house. It's just a matter of retracing your steps.
What if it's gone down the kitchen sink?
Well, it can't be very valuable. Oscar dug it up in the potato patch.
Father!
Did he? Like treasure?
Father, please, you're being heartless.
I'm trying to make her feel better.
By being thoughtless and cruel?
Now, look here.
That's the telephone.
Esme will get it.
Yes, sir.
Or perhaps not.
Shall I go?
No, I'll go.
Please don't worry, Esme.
It will turn up. We'll all keep an eye out for it.
Can we look for it? Please let us. A treasure hunt.
Well, I'm sure Esme will be very glad of your help, girls.
Please, I can't ask you all. Can we look for it now?
Now?
Yes, why not? Why not, indeed? There's 6pence reward for whoever finds it.
I'll find it. You won't.
Oh, Charles, will you go with them and keep an eye on them?
You can't order Charles about. He's my husband now, not your cook.
I'm aware of that, Isabel. Charles, I'd like a word with my daughters in private.
Quite all right, I assure you. Come along, girls.
Where shall we look?
Why don't we start in the kitchen?
And you can clear the lunch things later, Esme.
Yes, ma'am.
Your father only has to open his mouth and you bite his head off. What's the matter?
You're imagining it, Mother.
No, I'm not. Is it something to do with the cottage?
No, not really.
Then what? I can't make you tell me, but please stop it, both of you. It's upsetting and it sets the children a very bad example.
That was Hilary. Herbert Eastman's daughter has died, the one who married the architect.
The influenza?
Yes, I'm afraid so. I have to step in and chair his committee meeting tonight. I'm sorry to spoil lunch, but I really should walk down there to pick up the papers.
Is that safe?
Yes, she passed away at home in Stullersfield.
I better come too. Poor Jennifer will need support. Are you going now?
Yes, straight away.
Well, I'll get my hat. We'll continue this conversation later.
Conversation?
Oh, about saving fuel, darling. Come along.
Yes.
Oh, what a mess.
We can't tell Mother we know, can we? She'd be mortified.
Father had an affair. She's already mortified. Every time I look at him now, I see his mistress.
But we don't know who she is.
It's the very fact that she exists.
What if we could find out?
How?
Mother and Father are going to be out, and we're all on a treasure hunt.
Yes.
I'll look in Father's study. You take his dressing room. Oh, here you are.
I'm making tea. The kettle won't be long.
Any luck? I drew a blank.
I found this in his desk.
I thought you were looking for Esme's wedding ring.
No. What do you think?
Isabel, please tell me you're not spying on your father.
It's not spying.
It's addressed to my darling.
Do you recognise the writing?
No, it must be her. What does it say?
Oh, it's sealed.
He hasn't read it.
No. Strange.
Well, we must.
That's why I brought it down here. We'll steam it open.
Isabel, it's a private letter.
From Father's mistress.
If it's someone we know...
How will knowing that make anything better? Put it back, please. Put it back now.
Charles?
It's Pandora's box. There's no telling what you'll unleash.
Well, I'm going to open it because I'm lucky enough not to have a husband to stop me.
Oh, he's not stopping me, are you?
I'll be in the garden with the girls. Now they know where Oscar found the ring, they're digging up the potato patch with dessert spoons.
They'll be filthy.
Do we just hold the envelope over the kettle?
I'm not sure. Won't that make the ink run?
I don't know. I've never done this before. Here goes.
Mind your fingers. Gently does it.
Pass me a knife.
Here.
If I can ease the blade under the flap...
Don't rush.
I know.
Let the steam melt the gum.
I know. Now, gently...
You clever thing. Well? Well?
Oh, Julia.
What? Let me see.
I haven't finished.
It's all right, we can share.
Goodness.
But this means...
Aunt Cora was wrong.
I don't understand. Who's Terence?
Well, it can't be Terence Wentworth.
Oh, he's Freddie's age. He's younger than us.
Yes. Oh, goodness.
It is. Oh, God.
He's Freddie's age. Freddie's age.
That's disgusting. How absolutely disgusting. Tear it up.
We can't.
It's a horrible, horrible thing. Burn it.
It would be wrong.
The whole thing is wrong. How could she do this to Father?
This must be why she went to Devon so suddenly. He found out.
We've been so foul to him. And all the time, Mother was having this sordid affair. I can't even. Isabel.
I know. I'm trying to make sense of it. Do you think it was...
Don't say love.
Oh, I'm not, but... It's such a beautiful letter, isn't it?
No, it's repulsive. It's dirty and shameful. Why has Father even kept it?
He doesn't know what it says.
Oh, poor Father.
Mother, look, Mother!
Grace! What is it?
I'm so sorry, I couldn't stop her.
What have you got, Grace?
A fossil. It's not a fossil, it's a dried up dead frog. Fossils are dried up dead things, aren't they, Uncle Charles?
In many cases, yes, Grace, but this poor frog won't be a fossil for millions and millions of years.
I'll keep it until then. I'll put it on my window ledge.
Are you all right?
You were right. It's Pandora's box.
Where on earth is everyone?
Oh, no, Lord.
Girls, run up and say hello.
What are we going to do? Stick the envelope down, put it back in the desk. Charles will help.
Will I?
Be quick, Juliet. I'll keep them occupied.
Well now, a fossilised frog.
It's not a fossil.
Well, it's very splendid, whatever it is.
Sorry, sir, I didn't hear you come in.
Any luck with your search, Esme?
Not yet.
I do hope your ring turns up. I'm sorry if what I said earlier distressed you.
Thank you, sir.
Father, what a lovely thing to say.
Well, thank you, Isabel, was it?
Connie, Grace, look at your hands. Run upstairs and wash them.
We're helping Esme.
Or you'll help her better with clean hands. Esme, will you see to them?
I will. Come on, you two.
How were the Eastmans?
As you'd expect.
And they didn't dare visit in case of infection.
How awful.
Yes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go and read these papers before the meeting.
In your study?
Where else?
What?
What is it?
Isabel?
I want to apologise, Father.
Oh?
I've been very, very short with you, ever since Charles and I came back from honeymoon.
Yes, you have.
I've been horrid and ungrateful about the cottage, which couldn't be a lovelier or more generous wedding gift, and I'm very glad to accept it.
Ah, good. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Isabel.
What's brought about this change of heart? Not just the electoral roll, surely.
Oh, no. I believed something about you which I now know isn't true. I was punishing you for it.
Good Lord, for what? What did I do?
Nothing. I should have known. I'm sorry.
Does this mean you'll move into the cottage?
I'll discuss it with Charles, and I'll speak to Victor and Kitty.
Right. Good. Thank you. I didn't know what I'd done.
You didn't do anything, Father, except be generous and kind and understanding, as you always are.
Hello, Father.
Oh, Juliet.
Let me give you a kiss.
Really? To what do I owe this?
Everything all right?
Yes, all done.
What's that?
Fossils. Fossils.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I snapped at you.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I really do have to prepare for my meeting.
Thank you both. I'm glad you've seen sense.
Let's go home, Charles.
As you wish.
Oh, stay and have tea with me.
No.
Juliet?
I'm going to the nursery.
Oh, do have tea. We might play cards with the girls. I could show Connie and Grace how to play whist.
You might teach them how to cheat.
Juliet?
Let's go, Charles.
The 9th of October 1918. Florrie Wilson.
Look, Isaac. That's right. A boat. A ship. Can you say ship? That's it. Oh, it's funny to see the Onward on its side, Norman.
It is. Funny how fast we've all got used to it.
When did the lifting gear go in?
Last week. They've sawn round the funnel. They're cutting out everything they can so the hull's likely to lift.
Kitty said.
Mrs. Wilson, is that you?
Oh, Mr. Marshall, what are you doing in Folkestone?
Well, mostly it seems listening to people sing your son's praises. Wonderfully quick thinking saving the train. You must be very proud.
Oh, we are. I can't believe Adam put himself in danger like that.
There's talk of a civic medal, I understand. Perhaps a reward.
No one said anything to us.
That's what I've heard.
A medal? Are you sure?
He deserves it.
Well, wait till I tell him.
Perhaps you shouldn't say anything quite yet. Better wait until it's confirmed.
Yes, you're right. Oh, a medal?
This must be...
It's Isaac.
Of course. Hello, Isaac. I'm your cousin Johnny. You're quite right. A boat is much more interesting than a cousin.
The other side now, on my count. 1.
I think something's happening. They're fixing extra ropes.
Better safe than sorry. We don't want any more accidents.
It wasn't an accident, Mrs. Wilson.
Is that definite, sir?
Quite definite. Divers found a thermite bomb among the life jackets.
Adam could have been blown up.
All the more reason to honour him.
Right, that's it. One more time. One last ease. Okay, 1.
I must get on. Very nice to see you, Mrs. Wilson. Sergeant?
You too.
Oh, and be vigilant, won't you? There are saboteurs all around us.
Are there?
German agents, pacifists, Bolshevists, the Irish. Who knows who else is trying to stop us winning this war? Keep an eye out.
We will, sir.
A bomb, Norman.
He's very well informed.
Well, Mr. Marshall works for the government. He'd know.
Adam had a lucky escape.
Isaac!
Sorry, I slipped. I just put new leathers on my shoes, and they're really slippy. Sorry.
Watch where you're going, Ted.
Sorry, Mrs. Wilson. Is he all right? You all right, boy?
No, he's fine. No thanks to you, Ted Dolby.
Yes, boy. Boat. Should we catch you a fish, little one, for your tea?
Go on, then. You save us a nice big cod. It's the least you can do. What?
Enjoy it while you can, that's all I'm saying.
A fish?
Even fish, Florrie. Along with police in every other part of your lives, we'll soon be chasing our tails implementing the fish distribution order.
Whatever happened to good old-fashioned policing?
You have me there.
Come on. John's waiting. We'll miss the tide. You found that German POW yet, Norman?
Hey, you keep quiet about that.
What's this?
He got out of a prison camp up the coast a couple of days back. Crawled under the barbed wire.
It's not been reported in case there's a panic.
They told us to keep an eye out. He might try to take to sea.
He's long gone, I reckon.
Well, if you see him, don't give him bread and jam.
Why not?
He's a German. He likes honey. Honey? Get it?
Get out, the two of you.
Hello, Nanny.
Hello, my angel. Where'd you spring from, Kitty? I've only been in Stokes 2 minutes.
I saw the pram. Isaac spark out.
Oh, for a change.
This is Daniel, Corporal Marriott, Victor's friend from Devon. This is my mum, Mrs. Wilson.
Oh, how do you do?
Very well, thank you.
Race me.
No, not now, Peter.
Race.
But don't keep asking Daniel to race, Peter.
I think he sensed an opportunity to beat me. Will you do the honours, Mrs. Wilson?
Why not? Right, ready, Peter? On your marks.
Right.
Get set.
Yeah.
Go! Oh, little love.
Oh, they get on, those two.
Oh, he seems nice.
He is.
Kitty, don't say anything. It's not official yet. But they might give Adam a medal.
Really?
Johnny Marshall told me. A medal, Kitty. Wouldn't that be something? But not a word, not till it's certain.
All right.
It might take his mind off Jack and Jessie.
Oh.
Look at his face.
You're very fast, Peter.
Are you all right, Daniel?
You beat me fair and square, didn't you?
He's my little champion, aren't you?
Champion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you excuse me?
What?
I live here. That's my step you're sitting on.
Sorry.
Oh, I don't mind, only I need to get my boy indoors.
Yes.
You all right?
Yes.
You sure? Oh, hey there.
Sorry.
Have you been drinking?
No. I'm sorry. My head.
Dizzy?
Dizzy, yes.
When did you last have something to eat?
I don't know.
Oh, dear. Wait, can you hold the door open?
I do not want to be a...
Oh, you're not. Just hold on while I get him inside. You coming in?
I should go now.
A cup of tea, bit of bread and drip. Go on, I can see you're hungry. I'll put the last of the sugar in it.
Thank you. This is very nice. Very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. You look happier already.
Why not? I have a cup of tea. The sun is shining.
You've been in the war, have you?
Of course.
Where are you from?
Manchester.
Oh, that's what your accent is it? Manchester.
Yes.
I'll get you that bit of bread. What happened to your ankle?
Excuse me?
Your foot? You're limping.
Yes, I hurt it.
Oh, shall I have a look?
No, thank you. It is better now.
My Jack will be here soon. My son. We've not long had him home. He was a prisoner of war for ages in Germany. Ages and ages. It's good to have him home, safe and sound.
I'm sure.
You worry for your kids. All mums do. Even when they're grown up. I thought, being Jack, he might get himself in a mess, do something foolish. Might try to escape.
Oh, yes?
It would be very brave, of course. Patriotic, but being on the run, all by yourself, not able to speak the language properly. Hurt, maybe. I hoped that if that ever happened, there might be someone who'd help him. Here's your bread and drip.
Thank you.
I expect your mother's worrying about you. Whereabouts is she?
Manchester.
Where? What's her address, love? I could send her a postcard for you. Say I saw you. Only you're not from Manchester, are you? You're a German.
I will not hurt you.
Oh, I know that, love. What's your name?
Wolfgang. Lieutenant Wolfgang Hausmann.
What are you going to do, Wolfgang?
Now I don't know. I thought to get a boat, hide, but it is too hard.
You're in a pickle, Wolfgang. And that ankle will do for you if you're not careful.
I am in a pickle.
Finish your bread. There's no hurry. I might have an apple somewhere.
Say that again. I am Wolfgang Hausmann. I escaped from an officer's prison camp.
And you're just walking in here and giving yourself up?
He is, Eric.
You took a dangerous German escapee into your house?
He could do with a proper meal, Eric, and someone should look at his ankle.
Sergeant, can you come?
They'll probably put you in the cells for a bit, Wolfgang.
I think I would rather be in a cell than a pickle.
Sergeant! Hands in front of you, soldier.
No need for handcuffs, Eric.
I am happy to obey.
Blimey. What's this? The German POW, Sergeant. Mrs. Wilson captured him, would you believe?
Let's put him in the cells.
Is that all you're going to say?
Go on.
This way, soldier.
Make sure they look after him, Norman. Norman, what's the matter?
The blue ribbon.
Sank this morning. Arthur and Ted's boat.
Oh, shame.
Just after 11, not far from the end of the steamboat pier.
Are the boys safe?
They're gone.
What?
They picked up John Mockridge, the third lad, but Arthur and Ted, they haven't found them yet.
Norman. No.
I've known them all their lives.
I know. Oh, come and sit down. Hey, here, sit down with me.
They were friends with my boys.
Oh, I know they were. Here. Oh. Mr. Marshall.
I hear Adam is not the only Wilson who deserves a medal. May I come in?
If you like.
It's not every day one captures an escaped prisoner. The nation is grateful.
Oh.
I brought you these. Wholly inadequate, I know.
Oh, no, they're lovely. I'll,
What brought him to your door? Out of interest.
Chance, I suppose.
Chance?
Yes.
And you persuaded him to give himself up?
Not really.
He says he had a long talk with you. I wondered what he said, specifically.
What do you mean?
We're at war, Mrs. Wilson. An enemy agent planted a bomb on board the Onward. A German officer pitches up a few hundred yards from the wreck.
He's only been in Folkestone a day or two. He's been hiding in the woods.
Which woods?
I don't know, I didn't ask. Westward, probably. We didn't talk about that.
What did you talk about?
Nothing. Everything. We talked, that's all. His home, his family. He plays the trumpet. He wants to join an orchestra one day. Yeah, he's a boy, Mr. Marshall.
He's an officer in the enemy army.
He's a boy.
Mrs. Wilson?
Their poor mothers.
Who?
The boys. Their poor mothers.
The 10th of October, 1918. Nell Kingsley.
Annie, where's the bag with the potatoes?
I thought you had it.
Oh, it must still be at Stokes. I put it down by the counter.
I'll pop back.
Would you mind? So sorry.
I won't be a tick. Go on, I'll catch you up.
No, I'll wait for you.
Hello, Annie.
What do you want?
I'll give you 3 guesses, sweetheart.
Go away.
Annie?
Let me go.
Call me Patrick. Hey?
Annie? Is everything all right?
This your friend? Work together, do you?
Annie, do you know this soldier?
No, not really.
Please leave this woman alone, Private. You have the wrong idea.
I don't think I do.
Take your hand off her arm or I'll call a policeman.
Yeah, of course you will.
Now.
Miss Kingsley.
I said now.
She didn't make all this fuss last week.
I need assistance here. Can someone help?
All right, I'm going. You sour old mivvy.
And never bother us again.
Miss Kingsley, I'm so sorry that wasn't what it looked like.
No?
I'm not of the game, I promise. Please don't chuck me out of Keeper's Lodge.
Oh, I'm not going to do that.
I know it was a mistake. I knew it straight away.
Tell me.
I had nothing in my purse. Not a farthing. I haven't had for months. I just started to think about it all the time. And when the soldier offered me 5 shillings, I said yes. I wanted something of my own. Something I could choose how to spend. That seemed worth a few minutes. Afterwards, I felt sick. I felt really disgusted. So I bought Mrs. Lumley a gift out of the money.
I see.
It won't happen again.
It can't, Annie. You understand that?
Of course I do. Please don't tell her.
She'll understand. Let's go and see if those potatoes are still there, shall we?
Oh, now, have you seen?
President Wilson has replied to the German peace note. He says there can be no armistice until all German troops have left Allied territory. Nell?
Oh, sorry. I was miles away.
What is it?
I've just found out that Aimee-Ffion took money from a soldier last week.
Took money from a soldier?
Yes.
In return for...
I'm afraid so.
What? What? Oh, I'm sorry, you're ahead of me. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, really? Oh, how... Oh, dear.
She's appalled with herself.
Oh, but she was... Of them all, Annie was the one who objected most strongly to us taking in your girl. Because of what she'd done.
She was desperate for the money. Desperate.
Oh, I see. Is that how she could afford to give me a gift?
Yes.
Oh, what should we do? I don't know what to do. Do you want to throw her out? I don't. But do you? I'm asking you, your advice. Oh, Nell, I'm completely out of my depth.
I don't either. I don't want to.
Oh, Nell, we can't have this. We have to give the girls an allowance. How much do you think? 2 shillings a week? Half a crown?
I'm not sure pocket money is the answer, Mrs. Lumley.
Well, I can afford it.
Yes, but... Well, it would solve the immediate problem. But wouldn't it be better if there was a way for them to have money that they earned themselves? That isn't charity?
Well, for their confidence, you mean? No, you don't mean that. Do you mean that?
You've done wonders already creating this place. But if Keeper's Lodge could do something to help itself, to fund itself, pay its own bills, pay the girls a wage...
Yes. That's brilliant. But what?
I don't know. Something respectable.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Something that nobody can cast the least aspersion about.
No.
And something that expectant mothers and nursing mothers could do while caring for their babies.
Well, yes, that's the most important thing.
How much does Keeper's Lodge cost to run?
I don't know. Not exactly. £4 or £5 a week, I think.
£8 a week.
8?
Perhaps a few pennies less.
I thought perhaps 5.
I'm afraid not.
Goodness.
£8 a week is £416 a year. And if you were to add an allowance for the girls, you'll be looking at, 500.
Phyllis is terribly good at figures.
So I see.
She's the treasurer of her local football team.
I'd never have guessed that.
It's a ladies' team.
Nor that.
£500 a year. Expenditure.
Well, it seems very good value in a way.
And income? Well, if you don't count the grant for furniture from the National Council for the Unmarried Mother and her Child, then nothing, really.
So we need to earn £500 a year?
I would say so.
What could we do?
Oh, is there something you could make?
Cooking, you mean?
No, not with the rationing. Wouldn't get the supplies. Sewing, perhaps.
I know. Vivaldi.
I beg your pardon?
The composer, Vivaldi.
Well, I assume.
Our music teacher was fanatical about him at school. Vivaldi taught at an orphanage for girls in Venice. Those who showed any aptitude had a musical education and joined the orchestra or choir.
Well, I play flute.
No, the girls who couldn't sing or play ran a laundry. One of the most reputable and celebrated laundries in Venice.
A laundry?
A laundry with mending. Everyone can sew a little.
There's plenty of space in the basement. This house came with an extra boiler and 2 coppers. It makes perfect sense to use them.
Miss Kingsley, you're a wonder. You really are.
Nell, do you think the girls would consider this?
I don't see why not.
How do we begin? How do we get our first order?
Take out an advertisement, perhaps.
Maybe personal contacts first.
And we must be cheaper. Ever so slightly than the other laundries.
Who does the laundry for Bouverie Square, Phyllis, do you know?
I've never even thought about it.
I'll ask Esme.
We might approach the rest camps on the Leas.
Oh, yes.
We could offer a good rate on small items, vests, handkerchiefs, that sort of thing. You could go up and speak to the quartermaster, Miss Kingsley.
That's something that would come better from you, Phyllis.
Me?
You inspire confidence. You're persuasive and natural.
Am I?
Well, you could sell wool to shepherds. You know you could.
I don't think I've ever sold anything to anyone.
Well, that was time wasted.
Adeline, I know what you're doing.
I'm very excited.
So am I. So am I. I'll do it. I'll go now, in fact. There's no time like the present, is there? Then we'll know where we are.
Splendid. And I'll go to Bouverie Square.
Let's walk together. I'll get my coat.
Thank you, Mrs. Lumley. A lot of the officers at the rest camps visited the old rectory.
You talk to the girls. See who's prepared to do what.
Good afternoon, Miss Kingsley.
How did you get in?
One of your girls was just heading out as I arrived.
How convenient.
Wasn't it? I'm curious.
Oh?
Who have you been talking to about me?
Inspector Forrester.
Please don't try feigning innocence. You went running to Councillor Graham.
I didn't.
Then why did he start asking questions?
I don't know. What questions?
I have a lot of influence in Folkestone, Miss Kingsley. I have the ear of Councillor Pearce on the Housing Committee. Folkestone is building new homes for war heroes. And this is a prime spot for requisition. Irritate me and I'll get this place closed down.
You can't close us down.
Put money on that, would you?
Keeper's Lodge is a charitable institution.
For tarts.
For unmarried mothers.
It wouldn't take much to let the troops know where they can have a good time for a shilling. You'll have queues at the door.
We'd send them away.
Yeah? But what about your reputation? There's no smoke without fire, is there? It would be a public decency matter. The council would have to step in. As I say, I have influence.
Inspector.
That's what I'll do, Nell. If you complain to anyone else about me.
You mean if I tell them how corrupt you are?
Corrupt? You threatening me?
It's the other way round, isn't it?
Oh, yes, so it is. Of course, you could avoid the whole unpleasantness.
What are you talking about?
A small remuneration would suffice. You have access to the petty cash, I expect.
I'm not going to rob Keeper's Lodge.
You'll be protecting Keeper's Lodge.
I'm not going to do it.
You're taking quite a risk.
Oh, Inspector Forrester.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Lumley.
There's nothing wrong, I hope?
No. A routine call to check that all is well with your institution.
And as I told the inspector, it is.
Good. Can we offer you tea?
I would enjoy that very much, Mrs. Lumley, but I'm afraid duty called.
Another time, then?
Yes, indeed. Thank you for your cooperation, Miss Kingsley. Goodbye, Mrs. Lumley.
Cooperation now?
Oh, you know, lighting restrictions.
Did you show him the shutters?
I did. How did you get on?
I have our first 3 customers.
3?
Yes. My sister, Mrs. Graham, and Mrs. Edkins, though I had to negotiate quite hard over the price. And then I dropped in on Mrs. Grimes.
Oh, that's good news.
I've got our first customer.
Well, actually...
A trial run on soldiers' bundles. The quartermaster was most helpful. Well, to be honest, I didn't really give him a chance to say no.
What did I tell you? 20
bundles to start with, and after that we can take as few or as many as we want. They get a bundle for 7p.
And what's a bundle?
Vest and pants, a pair of socks, 2 handkerchiefs, a shirt and a towel. The men pay 8p at the moment, so it's a bargain for them. We collect, disinfect, mark, wash, iron, mend, sort and deliver back to the quartermaster.
Congratulations, Miss Marshall.
Yes, well done, Phyllis.
You were right, Adeline. Came tremendously easily to me.
And this will show the world that our young women are hard-working and respectable. Let's go and tell them, Nell.
Can I come too?
After all your hard work, of course. I can't wait to see their faces.
Mrs. Lumley?
Yes, Nell? Nell?
Well done.
Thank you.
The 11th of October, 1918. Alice McNade.
Crying out loud.
Keep it down, Bill. I can't think.
Morning, Alice. All well?
Stop singing.
Can't hear.
Stop singing.
Still all my song shall be.
Bill, I don't know about nearer to God. You're nearer to a thickie. Now stop your noise.
What? Why are you banging?
Why do you think?
Do you need something?
Yes, a gun and an alibi. I'm going out.
What?
You've driven me out.
Tea's just brewed, Mum. Help yourself.
I'll swing for your father. It's God, 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 morning till night. And people believe him.
I don't know why they fall for it.
There is more joy in heaven over one sinner that repenteth, Esme, as he tells me 3 times a day. And the singing.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, what you doing?
Oh, looking for my ring.
Well, it's not going to be down there, is it?
Well, it isn't anywhere it is going to be. I've looked. And it feels like an omen. Like a bad omen. Like if it's lost, then Oscar's lost.
Esme!
Not lost, because I can't even think that. Lost to me, lost. Just lost to me.
Sorry, love. Here, let me help you look.
No. It's good to see you, Mum.
You'll find it. You will. I had to come, love. I've got a bit of news.
Good or bad?
I've had a letter from Roy.
Mum.
I know. He's alive. Oh, and it's a lovely letter. Really thoughtful. It's so... what's the word?
I don't know, Mum.
Careful. No. Discreet. That's it. Discreet. You could show it to your maiden aunt.
If I had one. What's he say?
He's sorry he hasn't written for so long, but he broke his arm and he couldn't hold a pen.
How?
But he fell off a military truck, he says. Nearly fell in a river, so he's lucky, in a way. And he says he's all right now. And he says he's got some leave coming up and he thinks he could come over to Folkestone for one day and call on me if it was... Oh, now, how did he put it? It was ever so elegant. If it was... Yeah, within the bounds of possibility.
I think it's within the bounds of possibility.
I think it's within the bounds of I can't wait. Where's me love? I'm so happy.
And if he's coming over, you should talk about the future.
Oh, I don't know about that.
The war is almost over. It says so in Mr. Graham's paper. The war is coming towards its close. There can be no doubt about that. See?
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
Yes, we've all got to start thinking about the future. Oscar and me'll get married. I'll be Madame Hendricks.
Yes, and Roy will go back to Canada and I'll be miserable Mrs. McNade.
He might decide to stay here.
Well, what's he got here?
You, of course.
Yeah, well.
Or you could go to Canada.
Oh, don't say that in front of him. You'll frighten the poor man off. Hello, Roy. Remember me? I'm coming to live with you forever.
Why's he coming then? He doesn't have to. He wouldn't bother if he weren't serious.
Oh, I don't know, love.
I do
And
know.
in any case, if you hadn't noticed, I'm married to your father.
So?
Well, all I mean is I can't marry Roy. We'd have to run off together and lie to people. I don't know if he'd do that.
Mum, he deserted so he could be with you. Dressed as a woman, risked being shot.
I know.
You could run off to Canada together. Say you got married here.
Live in a log cabin.
Drink maple syrup and eat ham and eggs.
Raise a little family of bears. Go ice skating.
Freeze to death in the winter.
Oh, no, I wouldn't get cold.
Mum!
No! I mean, I'll have me fur hat on.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, Oscar can make me one. Me and me fur hat, imagine. Cuddled up with Roy in front of a big log fire and not a care in the world.
Oh, Mrs. McNade.
Oh, hello, Reverend.
All's well, I hope.
Yeah?
I see a great deal of your husband these days.
So he tells me.
I know things have not always been easy between you, but there is more joy in heaven over
yes,
one sinner.
Reverend, I know.
Bill really is making an enormous effort. He reads his Bible, he asks questions, he is always ready to help.
I'm sure.
Only the other day he was kind enough to bring Mr. Manchester home when the poor man was a little bewildered.
Have you talked to Reverend Winwood? Or Reverend Paul? They know what he's like.
Bill's injuries may have changed him, Mrs. McNade.
Oh, yeah?
I know he has disappointed you in the past, many times.
If it was just disappointment, I could live with that, Vicar.
He's spoken of his shame on that score.
Oh, he's giving you the works, then.
I'm not saying he's an angel.
Good.
But I do believe he's sorry. And I know he's trying very hard. The current situation distresses him a great deal.
Situation?
Your domestic arrangements. The division of the house, the separation, the change of locks.
If you don't mind, I think that's our business.
Isn't it God's business? Bill wants to make things right. I can't see any other reason he would be so penitent. Will you think about it at least?
All right, I'll think about it. No promises.
That's reasonable. Thank you. I've just come from Mr. Stokes.
How is he?
Holding on. I don't think he'll be able to for much longer.
Poor man. Oh, it's been over a year since the air raid.
I'm visiting Mr. Stokes every day now.
Oh, I haven't called round in a while. I will.
He'd appreciate it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, I must let you get on. I'm glad we could have this time together.
Hello, Alice.
What are you doing in here?
I've come to see you.
How did you get in?
The door was unlocked.
It was not.
Of course it was. How else would I get in?
You must have forgotten to lock it.
Well, you can get back out again.
Don't be like this.
You stick to your side of the house, I'll stick to mine.
You're my wife, Alice. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh.
Oh, don't you start all that. I've had your vicar friend on at me already.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
Reverend Hamilton. Yeah, he wants to believe in your miraculous conversion.
I have converted. It's only you the world is waiting for. I'm glad he talked to you. What did you say?
I said I'd think about it.
I'm pleased.
And I've thought, Bill. And I've made up my mind.
Yeah?
Nothing's changing. So you can get straight back through that door.
Oh, you're an hard woman.
Yeah, well, I've had to be.
A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. But she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones.
What are you on about?
Are you a virtuous woman, Alice?
A sight more virtuous than you.
Who's Roy, then?
What?
You heard. Who's Roy?
Roy who?
Roy, who sent you this letter.
You give me that. That's private.
We shouldn't have left it lying around then.
I didn't. You shouldn't be in here.
You're acting guilty, Alice.
Oh, don't be stupid.
Then why don't you tell me?
Because it's nothing to do with you.
Wives, submit yourself to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. That's St. Paul.
Get your nose out of my business. That's Alice MacNade.
Just tell me.
Roy is a Canadian soldier who was stationed over here.
When?
But when you're away fighting.
What's his other name?
Lavoie.
What sort of name's that?
French. I told you. He's Canadian.
Why is he writing to you? What does he want to call on you?
We're friends.
Friends?
Yes, we became friends and sometimes we write. He's married, Bill.
What you doing making friends with married Canadian soldiers?
He saved Maggie.
What?
He saved her. He's an hero. Yeah, Maggie was out delivering her telegrams one day down by the docks. This military truck, it was going too fast. It clipped her, sent her flying. Roy Lavoie dived into the harbour after her, stopped her drowning. He saved her, Bill.
You never said?
Yeah, well, you were away. No point worrying you. Maggie used to write to him sometimes. I carried on after. I never said nothing because you're a suspicious sod and I didn't think you'd believe me.
I'd like to meet him.
What?
When he comes to Folkestone. I'd like to shake the man's hand and buy him a drink for saving my little girl.
Well, I thought you didn't drink.
Well, I'll have a lemonade. Will you tell him?
Yes.
Good. Right then.
Right.
I'll go back to my side of the house.
Yeah, good idea. And don't you come in here again.
Yes? Oh, Mrs. MacNade, hello.
Hello, Mrs. Stokes. I met Reverend Hamilton. He said things were...
I doubt Fred will last the night.
I'm so sorry. That's all I wanted to say, really. Is there anything you need? Anything I can get you?
I'd like more time. But I've had more time than any of you, so I sound greedy then.
No, you don't. You don't. And I wish I could get you more time.
Would you like to see him?
Oh, yes, if it's all right.
Come in.
That don't sound too good.
He's been like it since yesterday. You start to notice the smallest change.
Yes.
You can talk to him if you want. I do. The doctor doesn't think he can understand, but the sound of voices seems to calm him. Well, call me if there's any change.
Hello, Mr. Stokes. It's Alice MacNade, Maggie's mother. I don't know what to say, really. No good talking about the weather at a time like this. But it is lovely out there. If you get a chance, Mr. Stokes, if you do, would you give my Maggie a message when you see her? Say I'm sorry. I told a lie today and it's not sitting right with me. I didn't mean to use her in a lie, it just slipped out. Will you ask her to forgive me, please? And say I love her and I miss her and I'll see her again one day. Would you do that? Mr. Stokes? Oh. Hello? Mrs. Stokes, I think you'd better come in. His breathing's changed just this minute.
Oh, Fred. Oh, Fred.
God bless you, Mr. Stokes. I'll let myself out.
The 12th of October 1918. Captain Victor Lumley.
Get up, Daddy!
Peter, please.
Daddy!
Kitty, can you...
Boat, Daddy, you promised.
Come away, Peter. Daddy's poorly today.
No, Daddy promised.
Run down and play with your sister. Show her that train Uncle Daniel bought you.
Boat, Daddy, you promised.
I know. Another day.
Off you go, sweetheart. Go and see May. Peter!
Not there!
I'm sorry.
No, he's right. I did promise.
Shall I get you some more aspirin?
It don't make much difference.
Just lie quietly, eh?
Yes.
Close your eyes.
Yes.
Shall I open a window? Let some air in.
No, and keep the curtain shut. The light.
Oh, poor thing.
That's nice. Cold.
Mum always used to put a damp fan on my eyes when I had a bad head.
So did Aunt Phyllis.
She sent over some beef tea. Mum, I mean. Could warm it up.
No, nothing, thanks.
You sure?
You can't sit with me all day. It isn't fair.
Oh, now you sound like Peter.
Don't make me laugh.
Shall I rub your shoulders?
No, thanks.
That might be soothing.
No, sorry. Please don't waste your day sitting with me. We have to get used to it. I might always be like this.
Victor? Oh, rotten luck, old chap.
Daniel.
We need to be quiet.
Oh, I won't disturb him. Mrs. Edkins told me to buy you a lemon.
Whatever for?
I'm to cut it in half and rub it on your temples, apparently.
Mrs. Edkins wants you to cut a lemon in half and rub it on my temples.
Oh, it's a kind fault.
Well, she didn't go so far as to pay for the lemon.
Shall we give it a go?
You really want to? I only brought it because I thought it might make you laugh.
It hurts him to laugh.
It'll hurt more if I get juice in his eyes. Oh, sorry. I'll go.
Daniel.
Yes, old man.
Take Peter to see the Onward. I promised.
If you like.
Kitty too, and May.
With the greatest pleasure.
It's all right, Daniel. You don't need to.
Please, I'm better by myself.
I'll treat you all to lunch. Fish and chips.
Good man.
If you're sure, Victor.
I am. I just want to sleep. Go on. Kitty?
It's me, Victor.
Aunt Phyllis.
I met Kitty on the pier. She said you were ill. I was concerned.
No need, really.
There was some beef tea in the kitchen. I've warmed it up for you.
I'll try and have it later.
Kitty should be with you, not running round the town. Shall I open the curtains?
No.
Is it very bad?
Better than it was, I think.
My brave boy. I'll get you a damp flannel.
There's one here. Kitty left it for me. Really, I'm best by myself.
You don't have any other symptoms? Aching shoulders, aching kidneys?
Don't worry, it's not the Spanish influenza.
You're sure?
Quite sure.
Your grandmother was a great believer in 2 spoonfuls of olive oil for a headache. You hold it in your mouth for as long as you can before you swallow it.
I'll ask Kitty if we have any when she gets back.
Did you hear the news about the Leinster? If the Germans want peace, why are they still torpedoing our ships? It's barbarous.
Sorry, Aunt Phyllis, I'd like to close my eyes again.
Oh, you're very brave.
No, but I must get used to it. And I'm not the only one. Once peace comes...
General Haig has specifically warned against rumours of peace.
But I do have to think about my future, you know. My war is over, isn't it? Whatever happens.
I suppose it is.
These headaches aren't going to go away.
Try to rest.
I was.
I shall be going back up to Collingwood soon.
Yes.
Adeline's old cottage is empty now.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be a lovely place to bring up the children? The grounds to play in, all those trees to climb, family all around you. No rent to find.
Aunt Phyllis...
Johnny would give you a position at the factory.
I remember the factory. It was deafening.
Something on the estate, then. Yes, something peaceful. Will you give it some thought?
I will. I promise. But I'm hoping there'll be an opportunity for me here.
Uh-huh.
Daniel's school. I haven't inquired yet, but it's a good life. A decent salary, accommodation.
Was this Kitty's idea?
No, mine. Why?
You haven't known Corporal Marriott very long, have you?
Long enough.
He and Kitty seem to be having a splendid time in town. Laughing a great deal.
Going for fish and chips.
He was holding Peter up to the rail, watching the divers salvage the Onward. One might have taken them for father and son.
Daniel's very good with him. And Peter wants to be a diver when he grows up.
He told me he wants to be a teacher.
Did he?
Like you, I suppose. I thought he wanted to be like Corporal Marriott.
I wouldn't be surprised. Daniel's a first-rate chap.
Very pleasant-looking, too. Very personable.
Is he?
Kitty was looking particularly beautiful this morning. Very bright blouse. Couldn't help noticing.
Ah. How lucky I am, Aunt Phyllis.
Victor?
To have such a beautiful wife and such a jolly friend. And to have you to look out for me.
Thank you, my dear.
Hello? Anyone home? Kitty? Victor?
More visitors might.
Shall I send her away?
No, the more the merrier. Up here, Isabel!
I shan't offer her tea. You don't want people disturbing you.
Oh, Lord, you're ill. Hello, Aunt Phyllis.
Isabel?
Another headache?
Yes.
Oh, horrid.
Yes.
I'll come back.
No, it's all right. Did you want Kitty?
Well, both of you, really. It's rather awkward. I really think I should come back.
Please, whatever it is, just say it and then you can take Aunt Phyllis away and give her lunch or something.
Oh, there's no need
I'd
for that.
love to. You can tell me all about Aunt Adeline's laundry.
It started very well, thank you. Although, perhaps you can tell me, dear, is laundry a euphemism?
For what?
Well, soldiers keep knocking on the door, looking for... Well, there are dreadful misunderstandings about Keeper's Lodge.
What did you want, Isabel?
Oh, I'm sorry to spring this on you, especially when you're ill, but Charles and I would like to move into this place after all.
Oh, I thought...
Oh, yes, I know. I refused it because I was very angry with Father.
Good grief. About what?
Oh, that's not important, Aunt Phyllis. It turns out I got hold of the wrong end of the stick, so... Victor, would you mind terribly if we asked you to move out?
No, not at all.
I know it's an upheaval, especially if you're not well.
That's perfectly all right. You move in here and we'll have our rooms back at Mrs. Edkins, a straight swap.
You're sure?
Of course. Daniel's staying there. It'll be fun. I'm not catching your eye, Aunt Phyllis.
I wasn't looking at you.
I'm very grateful.
It is your cottage, Isabel. It was very nice of you to lend it to us. For the weekend, all right?
Only if you're better.
I'll tell Kitty once she's home.
She's out enjoying fish and chips with Corporal Marriott.
Oh, that sounds nice. I'll leave you in peace, Victor.
Thank you.
Charles recommends port and brandy for headaches. Equal measures.
I'll remember that.
He's a great believer in brandy.
I'd like to close my eyes now. Goodbye, Isabel. Goodbye, Aunt Phyllis.
Goodbye, then.
I'll see you very soon, my dear. You know, Mrs. Edkins' boarding house is agreeable enough, but all that space at Collingwood.
Goodbye, Aunt Phyllis.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hello, you. How long have you been there?
Ages. I thought you'd pricked your finger and fallen asleep for 100 years.
I'm hardly Sleeping Beauty.
I don't know. Oh, you laughed. You must be feeling better.
A little. Perhaps I should get up.
Stay there. Let me nurse you. I'd like to.
All right. It still hurts a bit.
Where?
Just here.
Where else does it hurt?
Here. Here. Where's Kitty?
Putting Peter to bed.
Was it that late?
You've been asleep all day.
Not quite. It was like the Lees West camps in here. Isabel wants her cottage back. We're moving back to Mrs. Edkins.
We'll be under the same roof then. Just a wall between us.
I thought you'd be pleased.
A wall is still a wall.
Walls have doors.
Oh, that's true.
Will you rub my shoulders?
All right.
Aunt Phyllis suspects your motives.
What do you mean? Victor, she doesn't...
She thinks you're after Kitty.
Really? Really? What did she say?
She didn't say anything exactly. She intimated. She did say you were pleasant looking.
Oh. damned with faint praise.
I think you're pleasant looking.
Oh, you're the most beautiful man I've ever seen. So, me and Kitty. How funny.
She said you all look like a happy family down at the
We
pier.
had a nice day.
You like Kitty, don't you?
Of course.
And the children.
Why are you asking me?
Do you think your new school might need another master? It's only an idea, say if you hate it.
I would love it. You know I would.
And Kitty would be all right, do you think?
I think she'd be happy there. The older boys would all be in love with her.
Like you?
According to Aunt Phyllis.
It's an idea, isn't it?
It's a beautiful idea.
I thought so. They might not want me, I've no experience.
What would you teach?
I don't know. Classics?
Oh, you'll put me to shame. No, it's a terrible idea.
So you wouldn't mind if I made inquiries?
I could talk to the school. I could give you an introduction.
Victor, you feeling any better?
Much.
Would you like some supper on a tray?
Thank you, yes.
Daniel?
Oh, nothing for me, Kitty. I'll be off soon.
You have to go. Stay and read to me.
Well, if Kitty doesn't mind.
Of course not. I'll get you supper, Victor.
What shall I read?
The book you gave me.
Of course. Close your eyes.
Search online for more information about Homefront and World War I on the BBC.